So I was under contract once on a house that was practically brand new. My clients were really excited to be under contract on this house. We had looked for a little while, and everything about it seemed perfect. They had told me going in that it was close to a landfill, so they pointed that out prior to. We get under contract and inspections go perfectly, but the landfill starts to become a problem during inspections. The landfill is considered an off-site condition. It's really not part of the whole inspection period because off-site conditions are supposed to be investigated prior to getting under contract. So it's much more difficult when that off-site condition becomes a problem once you're under contract because it's really not part of the overall inspection. Now, if there's an item that you discover that the seller did not disclose or an item that was unknown, that's debatable. But off-site conditions like that really should be investigated before you ever get under contract on a property. So when you start your search and you're looking at your areas, probably the best thing to do for off-site conditions is to just look at Google Maps. Just pull up the address of the property, zoom out, and see what's around you. Some people are fine with a landfill being kind of far away, but still within a couple miles, and other people are not. These off-site conditions are typically very personal. So there are some people who have no problem living near a business, and other people would hate that. So drive-bys and a street view of some type on the internet are just really invaluable when it comes to discovering off-site conditions that you may not be able to live with. And they're critical because once you get under contract, it's really hard to get out of that contract if you just decide that an off-site condition is not going to work for you. My job as an agent is not to get you out of a contract. That usually takes the advice of an attorney. My job is to get you under contract to help you get through the transaction, investigate those things that fall under inspections, and get you through the process, appraisal and financing and all of that. I guide you through that, but a lot of people think it's my job if they're dissatisfied to get them out of the contract, and really not my job. We can try to resolve issues as we go through, but it's really important that you understand that you are getting into a legally binding contract with someone once you do. And that's why it's so very important to investigate what's surrounding the property that you're in love with before you actually write an offer. So again, some examples of off-site investigations while you're looking at property would be the drive-bys, street view, Google Maps, any type of mapping that gives you a bird's eye view of what's surrounding. Phone calls are important. Zoning phone calls are important if you want to make those ahead of time. Calling the school district to ask questions about levy information or anything like that. Calling the police department and asking certain questions. Now, crime stats are very important to check into ahead of time as well. That should be public record, especially if you're looking for where the sex offenders in the area are located. But make sure that you do all of that ahead of time. Do your due diligence. I know in the market that we had, 2020 to 2024, you had to just jump on property. And a lot of people threw due diligence out the window when it came to off-site conditions. But please make sure that those are done ahead of time before you write an offer on a property, because again, they're not really reasons to get out. You should have known that that business that you didn't want to be located next to was there. You should have known that landfill was there. You should have known that these conditions existed in the area where the property was located ahead of time. So if you have questions about this topic or any others, please feel free to reach out to me via phone, text, email, private message. And if you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe. Thanks. Bye.